I think being gay is worse than Asian.
All right, and with that, let's get this party started. Welcome to the Forum Thread Podcast number 48. I kind of stumbled through that. Let's try that again. Forum Thread Podcast. There we go. 48.
Who needs to say it right?
Yes, it's important. It's the name of our show, damn it. I'm your host, Dark One Dre, and here with me today we've got Ray.
Hi.
I was going to say, you better speak up. Lozelle.
Sorry, I was looking at Fusion. He said he hated me, so.
I really like the idea on like some podcasts you're going to start introducing people and we're all just not going to say anything when you say our names.
You know that makes it really
like,
hard to
fuck
edit
y'all.
a podcast,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it just make it
Yeah, we're
awkward.
like, fuck,
You guys.
man. This was the one where nobody said hello. Shit. Anyway, go on.
And we've got the silent one over there in the corner, Nobod.
Hi.
Mr. Fusion.
Hi.
What up?
And Chaos Mana.
Hey.
And I have to ask you all, did you hear about Tgjanlee's hot date tonight? That's why
Yeah,
he was not
dick.
able
That's
to
why
be
he's not
here
here.
on the podcast.
Fucking asshole. Pixar didn't have
I'm just curious, did he purchase the happy ending or not?
I guess
Did
we'll
we
find out.
ever
We'll have to
cover
ask
that?
him next week.
Oh, true.
I hope he did.
He purchased the entire thing.
I mean, it was only like, what,
Oh,
20 bucks
goodness.
more? Come on. It's a good deal.
Yeah, only $20 for the happy ending. Totally worth
Yep.
it. And when I logged on to Skype today, I also saw that I think today is Shadowhound's birthday. That's what Skype told me when I logged on.
Yes.
So is he in the feed today? Is he on Twitch?
He's probably not. He's
anything?
probably celebrating that he can technically be emancipated from his parents at this point, right?
Yes. Well, wherever you are, Shadowhound, happy birthday
Happy
from
birthday,
the Forum Thread
Shadowhound.
Podcast.
Hey, happy birthday. We're going to do you a favor and not sing.
But
No.
wait.
Actually,
We
hell
missed
no.
another one.
No.
Didn't we miss an important one a couple days ago? Didn't somebody that's currently
I
on
don't
this
know.
panel just turn 18 years old?
Nope.
I can't think of anyone that just turned
Nah.
18. No.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure. Yeah.
Because he's awfully silent.
I'm gonna let all of it go.
No.
See if it passes.
Nobody doesn't really count as a person.
What
so.
passes?
He does count as a person. Don't you remember that 3-fit?
No.
Wait, he's not black, so that doesn't work. Gotta retract that.
What?
That's not gonna work. Anyway, so you're 18. What's the first thing
that's
you
right.
did when you turned 18?
Nothing.
Absolutely
In the
nothing.
bed.
Well, that's,
I mean, I was sleeping when I turned 18, so.
Yeah. That's
It's
depressing.
kind of sad.
Oh, come
Yeah.
on.
I mean, you could have gone out and, got a hooker,
Sorry, it was like
got some
12 o'clock at
cigarettes,
night.
something.
Because we all know the legal age to purchase prostitutes is 18, right?
It's 18. It's all right.
Yeah.
There's
yeah,
a
wait,
legal
let's
age.
talk about
You
that.
can legally do that?
No, it was how he worded it. He said, you can go get a hooker and go buy cigarettes. Because we all know at 18 you can, pay for sex and buy, tobacco products.
Yeah, you're a responsible adult at that point in time, right? I mean, you're old enough to fight for your country, so yeah, you're old enough for
Hey,
prostitutes
you know
and
what? If
cigarettes.
they're old enough to die for our country, they should be allowed to buy a beer. That's
Yeah,
that's-
I'm with you on that.
just like
Yes.
Just like, you know what, as long as alcohol and tobacco is legal in this country, so should pot. Some people don't like that
well,
idea,
depending
though.
on where you're at in this country,
Depending on what?
but depending on where you live at in this country, pot is legal.
No, I meant just as a whole. As long
Ah.
as alcohol is legal in this country, so should we. So should we be.
I'm inclined to agree with
Yep.
you there. Yeah. It makes perfect sense, and besides, weed has got all sorts of actual medicinal properties to it that can really help a lot of people out. That cigarettes and alcohol.
But not
just
only that,
can't
but the ancillary financial gains. Think about, the increase in sales across the board for, Funyuns at the supermarket,
do.
donuts at donut shops, Taco Bell, their sales would skyrocket. I mean, it has.
And don't forget the Cheetos. Cheetos would be just untouchable. They'd probably be a precious commodity
Oh,
at that
yeah.
point.
Shit. Oh yeah, the great Doritos drought. Oh yeah, Cheetos. Never mind.
What are those, Cheetos and Swedish
Oh
fish?
yeah, Funyuns.
You don't like Cheetos?
I like the crunchy Cheetos. I don't like the poofy
Okay, no,
Cheetos.
I'm with you again. We were about to have a problem, but
Oh.
that's okay. I'm not.
What about fiery Cheetos?
I'd rather prefer the crunchy Cheetos.
Poos.
I like the fiery Cheetos as long as they're the crunchy variety, which I think that's the only type
Yeah, I
there
don't
are.
think,
I thought
I don't
the
think there's
fiery ones are
poofy
crunchy.
fiery ones.
No.
That would be an interesting taste.
That would be just
It's like
messy.
the poofy ones just don't do whatever it takes to make me satisfied when I bite into one. It's just like, oh, this is like puffy and not very satisfying. There's a joke in there
Yeah,
somewhere.
I'm trying to
gonna just
find it
walk
really
away
hard, but
from it.
she's also getting my back on this weird person on the Rooster Teeth site.
yeah. Yeah, what I was originally gonna say was super bitchy, and I'm like, no, probably.
No, because you're just gonna incite it,
Yeah.
and you're gonna incite him even
Yeah.
more.
What
you know?
sucks is I've seen this guy in other places on the website, and every time I see his name pop up, I go, ah, fuck, god damn it, not you.
It's like,
Well, he's
you're
just
that
fucking lazy
douchebag.
and
It's
not
like
even
me.
put up an avatar. Come on, man.
Yeah, he always
Why
pops in
would-
with just random lazy ass bullshit in places. The first time I saw him was in like the Ask Anything thread for Red versus Blue.
Wait,
Uh-huh.
let's give this some context.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
Okay,
we're-
let's
for the
break
podcast.
it down. There's a Rooster Teeth member
Break it
on
down.
the forum live stream podcast. It's a sponsor. It's under the sponsor section.
Yes.
Fabez.
Sure,
Fabez?
whatever.
That
He can't.
Maybe
He
it's 10.
can't spell, so we don't have to say it.
Fabian.
Howard.
Yeah, Fabez 10. Look, I'm not going out there just to troll the guy, but I mean him or her, whoever he is. But just the comment just sounded like the I'm an entitled douchebag person. The customer's always wrong type thing.
Yeah,
And it bothered me. My biggest issue is, as a sponsor, is I can't watch on demand if I missed the live stream. What's the point in paying for perks? So it just came across as just shut the fuck up. You're paying like the equivalent of $10 American every 6 months. Come on, man.
Not only that, what Bernie is doing with this very server is trying to give, even more benefits. This was sort of an experiment to say, would people be interested in having, own special sponsor servers if you are a sponsor that you
I
can
just
get
replied,
into?
you're right. You should demand your whole $10 back. And that sent him into a frenzy. He posted like 4 comments. Someone should admin this guy. I thought this was supposed to be a friendly community. I hate people. I don't know this person, but I hate the kind of people when I worked in retail where it was like, oh, well, I thought the customer was always right. Get the fuck out of my store.
Yeah, no,
seriously.
fuck
when
that.
they break
No.
that out, it's like you're just being an asshole at that
Customer's
point.
always wrong.
You're just being an
Yeah.
asshole at that point. You're bitching just for the sake of bitching. Just stop. Just stop.
Well, they're hoping to get free shit. Every time I've run into someone like that, it's like their ulterior motive is always, if I whine enough, then someone's going to try and give me compensation to keep me happy. So I'm just going to whine and bitch until I finally get my way. And it's just so
That's how
annoying.
it works on the internet.
You should trick them and give them an empty box that you oh, here's this brand new product, and then they walk off with it, and then it's just like a brick or something.
What if they send him a
what
nature
I'm really
box?
liking about this dude, I didn't realize this because all the posts went out of order and stuff. He did not
Yeah.
understand when you said you should demand your whole $10 back. He didn't know what bucks were.
He lives in Australia.
Okay,
He's
all
just
right,
trying-
that makes more
He's just
sense.
trying to be a turd. Like, what is bucks?
Okay, because I just saw
That's-
that and I was like,
that's-
all right, it's game over now. It's
And that's fine. But if you're gonna be a
So
dick,
you fail at life.
you know,
Just give
well, I
up.
don't even understand this.
What is the Australian term for dollar?
What's their
what
currency?
is their dollar slang?
Quidditch?
I know what I'm
Which?
not saying what their currency is, but do you know? Does anyone know any slang that they would say? Like we say bucks.
Boomerangs?
All right.
I feel like that was probably somehow like racist or something, but I can't figure out exactly where to go from there.
It's kind of confusing, right? It's like you're not gentrifying the Australian people, so you're like, what can I say? Boomerang bucks? I don't know. Let's see. Eurozone? I don't know. I'm looking up online. I don't see anything for them.
What is their currency over there anyway?
Oh,
They have a
goodness.
currency.
Well, of course.
No,
everyone
they
has
just
to-
they just live for free. They're like the perfect moneyless society over there in Australia. Didn't anyone tell you? It's only the fear of big scary animals that'll poison you to death that keeps them in line.
They're scared of the animals?
Well, apparently a buck
No.
is acceptable slang in Australia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he might have just been saying
No,
that.
he wasn't being sincere. He was just being a tool. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is fine. I mean, my whole point was just sarcasm. It's like, okay, if you're really gonna bitch about, you're not paying $10 a month to Netflix, and if that's different, I can understand. But when you're dishing out, a #1 combo supersized from McDonald's every 6 months, don't bitch about that. Come on.
And I feel that I've been with the community for, I think it's 8 years now, 7 or 8 years now, and when I was a sponsor, you pretty much just got double the amount of storage space. Yes, we had a limit. You went from having 12 photos that you could have in your profile to 24 photos.
Oh
which was a
man,
big
you
deal.
remember that? The outrage.
And oh yeah, and when they finally made the photos unlimited, we're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's not special anymore. But like the Rooster Teeth crowd now is so spoiled compared to what we started off with. And to hear someone bitch about something as retarded as not being able to on demand the podcast, like we didn't even have a podcast back in the day.
What do they mean by on demand? Is it that they're complaining that they have to wait like 24 hours for
I'll
them
be
to put it
honest, I
online
really
for
don't
sponsors?
fucking understand what he was bitching about. It was just the context of it felt to me was I'm bitching for the sake of bitching. And I'll even read you the quick chain here. He mentions that whole thing about my biggest issue as a sponsor is I can't watch on demand if I miss the live stream. What's the point in paying for the perks? Initially I thought, okay, maybe he's confused, but then I thought about it. He's like, no, he's just being a turd. So then I replied, you're right, you should demand your whole $10 back. And he replied, what is bucks? And then he kept going and going and going and going and going and going and going. And Zelda's responding right now, so she's getting involved.
Yep.
Okay.
Just like the Energizer Bunny.
I know she is. She's got my back on this one. And it's like, it's just, what it is like you said, Dark. When we went from 12 to 24 to unlimited, I remember when it went to unlimited pictures, I wasn't really involved in the site, but I would log in, check my profile messages, look around, look at the forums, watch videos, but I didn't participate in the forums a lot. But I remember everyone posted these hate journals about how this community was different from every other social media site and how it was unique, and now you've just ruined it. And my feeling is, okay, if you don't like it, then go somewhere else,
Yeah, that's true. I do admit that I do have a little bit of not so much a lamentation, but I am sad to see. I was sad and am sad to see the limit on photos lifted, because you could then tell so much about a person just by visiting their page and looking at their photos, because you only had like 12 slots to fill.
Yeah.
So you had to pick and choose what you were going to display, and then you also had to, if you wanted a new image, you had to find your least favorite of your collection, delete that, and add a new one. So like people actually paid attention to the images then. Now they're just so much fluff. So it does feel like it's lost its significance.
And
but
then
I do rarely add like images like only once or twice a blue moon, but I'm glad they don't have only 16. That would be really hard. I think there should be like something, if they did ever have a limit back, something more like 36.
well, I don't ever see them taking this step
Yeah, they're not
backwards
gonna
and
step
putting
back.
a limit on the photos again.
But
That's
with the changes to the site, there's going to be outrage, because the way they're laid out now, it looks like the forums are going away in their current form.
I'll be honest, I have not logged into the
I
beta
thought
in
they
a
were.
while.
I thought from the way they were describing it, the forums are staying the way they are. However, the way that you can see them on the forum page are changing. They'll basically be put into kind of different categories. They'll be merged with the groups as they are now. So, like the way we have it in the guild, we have a set of things that are all related to that topic.
What that has to do with it,
So we won't have like
Yeah.
forum things. It'll be more kind of group.
it was my
views.
understanding that they're going to pick those groups, right?
I think so.
Because
What do you mean?
basically, if we want to keep the forum thread intact, it's going to be part of a group of threads, and basically it's
We can move it into the hangout corner.
yeah, exactly, and it's going to be pretty much at the discretion of the mods. And apparently, there are several mods that read the forum thread, that sift through it, and they know the activity of it and the podcast. So it looks like the forum thread may be safe for now. I don't know. I mean, just
Yes.
The threads aren't going to get deleted. That much was confirmed. Like, no threads, no matter what they are going to be deleted. They're just going to be moved and put in different sections.
Gotcha. Okay.
Depending on
Because
different
I'll be
things.
honest, I've logged in maybe like 5 times to the beta. I really haven't.
You know,
I
I've not
wish.
logged
I'm
into the beta at all.
curious to see.
So
I should do that. I should get on that and actually take a look at what
yeah,
the site's future is going to look like.
yeah, me too.
It'd be hilarious if it didn't look anything like that. They were like double take.
Like, fooled you bitches. Ah.
I think
can see them
Lil
doing
Zelda's she has a nemesis now. She's going after this dude.
Uh-oh, do I have a nemesis?
I don't know,
Oh,
do
no,
you?
I got nervous because I had a new notification. Like, fuck, this is shit's
okay.
getting serious. No, I think I'm
Yeah,
good.
shit got real.
I think I
you
shut
have
him up.
single notification.
Like, really? You guys are arguing with someone on the internet?
Yeah, I was like, you say it like that. It sounds really
Like,
stupid.
no.
That's pretty pathetic, guys.
The only time I would ever do so is just out of joking. I know definitely to never take
Yeah.
any
don't-
argument seriously because some people don't even
I
use
don't
logic.
argue on the internet. I'd put you in your place. That's my.
This is
That's
true.
true.
snap.
This is why I invited you on the podcast to
be
begin
able to
with.
do that.
Oh yeah, that was kind of my
Like,
intro.
damn.
It was kind of. Oops.
It's like, she knows how to put someone in their place.
Yeah.
We need you on the podcast.
I'm hoping you weren't expecting me
Oh,
to
I'm
keep
trying to
keep
recall-
the podcast under control then, since I have all the place putting powers. But I think I just made it worse.
The podcast has a life of
Yeah,
its own.
it's okay.
It's sentient.
It's a little beastie.
That's what WebWave has become. Is the podcast itself.
We're inside.
It's watching
We're
you
inside
slowly.
Webwave.
Whoa.
Oh my
gosh.
god. This is so scary in here.
Yeah, kind of smells funny too.
Gosh no, gosh panic.
Smells like
Nobud is drinking his hashtag Arizona sweet tea out of a My Little Pony cup.
I was
yo.
really worried about,
I
like,
don't know.
I thought you were just going to stop at he's drinking his hashtag, and I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean?
Whoa.
I don't.
Like, why would you hashtag
I
the
just really
chat
felt like it. I don't
box
I have no idea
inside
why you did
Skype, Nobud? Seriously.
know. Yeah, I use
because it's
HTML.
fun to say that
So-
word. I don't know.
hashtag, which
Don't
it
work.
isn't a real word. Hashtag.
No.
Is it not?
It's pound.
No, it's the pound
That's
sign.
the pound sign.
Well, yeah, it is the pound sign, but it can be reused for different things.
Yeah, but what pound something is a hashtag. It's an it's
I
it's
don't-
a
I don't
if
understand
if
how
hashtag.
that
I guess you
started.
could say it's an action. It's a hashtag. I don't know. I can't really. Fuck it. I don't care. Whatever. It's stupid.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. One day I woke up and the internet was starting to hashtag things, and I'm looking at them like, hashtag? I'm saying a motherfucking pound sign. I'm not saying a hashtag. What's up with this? And then I realized, oh, they're calling the pound sign a hashtag. When did this start? And I felt really left out because no one gave me the memo that, hey, we're changing the way we call things.
Was it
The
someone's
things
birthday?
I didn't know. Oh, speaking of things that I didn't know, I learned
Oh, this is gonna be
something
great.
shocking,
Oh, shocking.
yesterday.
Dun dun dun.
It's not
Absolutely
a perfume, right?
shocking.
Dun,
No.
Aw.
So you know how everybody knows that NASA invented Velcro?
Mhm.
Yes.
They did.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
no. I learned shockingly that they did not
What?
invent Velcro yesterday. No, it was invented by a Swiss electrical engineer, and like my world just fell apart. I'm like, what?
you just couldn't sleep, couldn't
No,
eat.
like what happened? Everything I knew is wrong now. Like, did they invent the microwave? I don't know.
So this discovery literally rocked your world.
It rocked his world.
Well, yeah, because it's something everybody just knows. Like, oh, who invented Velcro? Oh, yeah, it was those geniuses over at NASA. But so what else were they credited for that they didn't actually do? I don't know.
Well, then why are they credited? Did you find that out?
I don't even know how the rumor started. No, it was just one of those cool. What was that show? What's his name? Something Green.
Tom
It's
Green?
a countdown of like common misconceptions. There was some pretty interesting ones on there.
Bob Green?
Um,
Steve Green?
no.
I'm just making up names. I don't know.
It's if you ever see the show SciShow, the host on that show is Hank
John
Green.
Green? Hank Green.
And
Oh
it's,
my god.
It's Hank Green's brother who hosts this show, but I don't remember what his name is.
Oh wow.
Tom
John.
Green.
His name
John
is John?
John Green.
Okay.
John Green. John
Yeah,
Green.
it's one of his shows.
John Green.
My second most favorite thing that
John
I learned from
Brunel.
that particular episode was the origin of Viagra. You know what it started
That
out
was
as?
a heart medication, blood pressure thing.
Yes. They started it to try and prevent heart
Yep.
attacks, but instead they wound up causing heart attacks and boners.
Well, they found
Oh,
out. Yeah, they
gosh,
were.
really?
Yeah, they found out.
Boners.
They found out that trial patients were getting sustained erections. So yes, they're like, okay, we can make a lot of fucking money off this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh,
yeah,
whoops.
I thought that was the strangest thing. Like, I never really stopped to wonder. Yeah, how did Viagra come about? Like, someone was trying to make a heart medicine to prevent heart attacks, and lo and behold, they're like, hey, yeah, it may actually cause heart attacks instead of preventing them, but it'll give you a boner, and it might make your vision turn
I'm-
blue. What's not to love?
Blue.
I'm
Blue?
as a pharmaceutical chemist, I'm going to tell you something world shattering right now.
Oh my God, I can't take this
Almost
again.
every drug that has been coming out in recent years, like old ones, they were like specifically doing things, has been found on accident. They made it to do one thing, realized it did something else. It's no, like seriously, like science at this point. Science is when people are like, oh, you must
Throwing
be like
stuff
really
at the
smart.
wall?
It's like, no, we're just good at guessing at stuff and being pretty sure it's not going to blow up. That's what
Let's spin
science
the
is
wheel
at
of
this point.
science.
And so that's where most of these drugs are coming from. There's one that I run tests on right now that it started out as a diabetes medication. They figured out somehow, and this is like one of the better ones, they figured out it actually crosses the blood-brain barrier and can be used to treat Alzheimer's. Fuck diabetes, but Alzheimer's. Like, it's, everything is just an accident. And they're like, we think it'll do this. It hopefully won't kill anybody. Let's give it to some random people and see what happens. And in some
Science.
cases you
We
get
just
boners.
make it up
So,
as we
you
go
know.
along. That's yeah.
Hmm.
That's pretty funny.
I
forget
wonder.
you work in drugs. So
Yep. I'm a pill pusher.
She's in drugs.
nice.
Oh, can I get some of your happy pills, please?
Oh,
Unless
goodness.
you need female hormone replacement therapy or herpes medication.
Valtrex.
Why would you need
Or-
hormone
Will this-
replacement?
Why do I know it's
The butt
Valtrex?
herpes cream?
Yeah, it's
Will the side effects make me happy?
No.
well, you won't have herpes.
Yeah. Well, it just
That's
it
always a
becomes
plus.
dormant.
Yeah.
Shit. Very
Yeah,
scary.
the major, like, we test a lot of shit, but my stuff, for whatever reason, I get to test all the really fun stuff. Herpes medications, hormone therapy drugs, cancer drugs, which are scary as shit.
Did you snort it?
Yeah, I'd rather let the cancer
Yeah,
get me.
yeah. This, like, testing, like, cancer drugs are bad news anyways, but when you have pure powdered cancer drug, that's really
God.
terrifying.
Yeah,
Um,
seriously.
Snort it through like a pixie
Yeah,
stick
pretty
and
much.
you're like, woo! Goodbye hair, goodbye melanin. Hello,
Yeah,
vomiting.
the number of warnings that come on those bottles, like, they don't
Yay.
fit on the bottles. They have to, like, wrap the label around it a couple times, and so you just unroll this scroll.
Hey.
And I'm like, and they were like, we need you to test this. I go, okay, and they hand it to me. I'm like, well, this kind of just keeps going. I'm like, there's like 3 pages of shit here, and half of it says if you're a woman, you shouldn't be in the same room as this. I don't think I want to test this. I am literally the only woman in this lab. Why are you telling me to test it? This is
Well,
not
then
okay.
you can help me out here because this always perplexes me. You may, even if you don't know the answer, it would be a perfect opportunity to say something hilarious and be entertaining.
Okay, okay.
Because
Why
shit
is it that
happens.
every single drug out there, one of the symptoms is always anal bleeding? Help me out. Why? Why? Everything.
Fusion.
Anal bleeding.
Have you
If
had
it's like
problems?
depression, may cause blah 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 anal bleeding. If it's headache medicine, anal bleeding.
Okay.
If it's cancer medication, anal bleeding.
I
It's just seriously.
would
that
love
just
to know
upsets
what
me.
drugs you're looking at that all of them...
It's just
that-
every time I'm watching something on TV or in a magazine, there's always anal bleeding. I'm like, really? I mean, seriously, that's probably, as I get older, that's probably my biggest fear. It's not dying of cancer; it's having to take medication that's
Anal
going to make my butthole bleed. That no matter what's going to happen,
Yeah, 'cause
I'm
then
going to
you
have to
wear
take
the
heart
adult
medication. My butthole's going
diapers.
to bleed. I have to take cholesterol
Oh,
medication.
gosh.
Well, there goes the butthole. You know, it's just seriously. I mean, what is the deal?
That's their nice way of
What
saying
is
it.
Okay.
the deal?
Can't say I've actually seen anal
What is the
bleeding
deal with
on
that?
any drugs. I've seen anal leakage.
Ah!
I've
That's
not
so better.
seen bleeding.
Well,
I
I
would
don't know,
put it
say
that
bleeding in the
way.
anus and leaking in
anal,
the anus.
anal bleeding is probably more pleasant than anal seepage,
You
I would
think
imagine.
it's
It
where
probably
a pad
stinks
is
less.
anal- anally
losing
bleeding.
blood out of your asshole than to like
You wear a
slowly
pad.
shit
Anal
yourself over.
seepage
Yeah, actually, when I phrase it
smell.
like that.
Yeah.
No. So,
Make me
so
sad.
here's what happens with
I rest my
with
case.
all the drug trials. They like the first round of it. They give it to totally healthy people just to see. It's like if you're already not sick, this should really not do anything.
Can
to
I
you.
sign up for
And
that?
so between that and then the sick people ones, absolutely anything you experience, you have to write down, and they have to list that as a possible side effect. So that's why, like, literally every single drug lists headaches as a possible response, as a possible side effect. Because someone was like, I'm in the middle of taking this drug and I have a headache tonight, must be the drug. And so they're required to write that down.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
to be
sucks.
fair, that's a good thing that
So
just in case, I'd rather
can
So
have
put
that.
if
in there,
someone,
so they do weird things.
like, quote unquote, slipped and fell on something while they were taking the drug and they experienced anal bleeding, they have to record that as a possible side effect.
Man.
Now, don't these side effects have to happen to a certain percentage before they're actually considered, like, before it's announced on the commercial? You know, it has to be a certain percentage of test subjects that experience this same thing to make sure it's
It
not
does
an anomaly.
have to be a certain percentage, but here's the thing, is the sample sizes are not all that big.
Yeah.
So when you're saying, it's like, oh, like in the healthy people trial, they only have to test 70 people.
Oh, that's depressingly small.
So it's like, it's, and
Well.
you can always do more, but no one's ever going to do more than you need to, because then all you do is potentially find more problems. So,
Yeah, and no one wants more
yeah,
problems.
it's like,
You can't sell the drug.
exactly, and it's like, and all the rules for how they release drugs are ridiculous, and it's one of those things like,
Oh.
at the risk of saying stuff I should not say, what I have learned
Oh,
from this
goodness.
job is I never want to take anything. I won't even take drugs for headaches at this point. I'm like, I know way too much about what the FDA says is acceptable to want to actually
Yeah,
put any of that
it's-
in me. I have to.
Yeah, that's
No,
one.
I heard something else, and maybe you can clear this up. That when it comes to proving that a drug actually works, according to the FDA, they only have to prove that it works in 2 or 3 trials, regardless of how many trials that they have to do in order to prove it. So they can take 100
wow.
different trials, but as long as they prove in 2 or 3 separate cases that
So it could have
works
a
in these
really
cases,
low success rate, but as long as you
Yeah, pretty much.
accomplish that in 2
Yeah.
trials, you're good.
Everything is a numbers game. So you have to have a certain percentage of people within a trial respond positively. So if you have a trial run and no one responds positively, you get to throw that one out. And you just keep going until you have a number of trials where you meet that minimum percentage. It's all just a crapshoot.
so that is true.
To
then.
an extent, yeah.
Worded a little
pretty
bit
much.
differently. Worded a little
Um,
bit differently, but damn.
So it's people in black suits are going to show up at my house now. Yeah,
If Lozelda is not here next week, we
yeah,
all
you know what happened.
They got her.
Yeah,
They got
So-
her.
We will avenge
can-
you. We will
yeah.
use our
It's
power to
the
save you.
numbers game's like so one of the tests that I am in charge of where I am is dissolution testing, where pretty much you're testing like how something dissolves in the body.
That sounds kind
So
of fun,
it's
actually.
kind of, it really is kind of interesting because we take a profile, we say how much of this pill dissolves over this period of time, and so like some of them are really short. Like the one I test all the time, it's just a 15-minute thing. You do one sample pull, and it's like did a minimum amount dissolve. And there's other ones I have to do that go for 24 hours, and I pull 12 different samples. So you end up with a whole profile. Like at this period of time you get this, at this period of time you get that, and whatever. And it is really kind of nifty. But the problem I have with this is the criteria set by the governing bodies for these things is you can actually accept a drug as being okay, and it can be off by as much as 30%. Our window is plus or minus 30% for the concentration of the drug.
Wow.
So, like, for some things, not a huge deal. Like, and granted, anything like the cancer drugs that we test, those have a tighter restriction because those are actually like restricted items and things like that.
Yeah, big
But
ones.
for anything like the hormone replacement therapy drug I test, or like some of the allergy medications we test, it can be off by 30%. And usually it's too low. I very rarely end up with something that's too high. But like I had to retest today because I got results that said it was 68% dissolved. So it's like you're only getting 68% of your medication. And like that just baffles me. I'm like, how is that okay? I don't understand.
It's like, yeah, back to the drawing board on
Yeah.
that batch.
Yeah,
You know,
well,
that's kind of surprising to me that the standards are that lax. I know Ken, as you guys, most of you guys probably know, he works for a pharmaceutical company and makes influenza vaccines, the flu vaccine every year, and like they have to be spot on with that shit.
I'm
constantly.
sure anything that's injectable, those have ridiculous standards because the blood balance is such a precarious thing that they actually have really strict controls on that kind of stuff. So,
yeah, hearing him explain it, it's like scary crazy. Like if there's even a slight deviation on one of 3 tests, they have to do the whole thing all over again. Like, and when there is a deviation, it's a big deal.
Yeah,
it's like what?
They sound the alarms.
One of the things we only test it once a year, and it's always a massive pain in the ass. But we actually have injectable penicillin that we test. And oh fuck, that's actually coming up soon, I think. God damn it. It's just it's a massive pain in the ass to test it. But that one has I think that one's plus or minus 2%. And and when you're talking about the concentrations that we're talking about, like that's a really tight window. Like there's not a lot of room for any kind of error. And if you so much as breathe on the instrument the wrong way, you fail your test. So anything injectable has a ridiculous standard. It's when you start hitting anything that you swallow, fuck it.
You're like, not
as big of a deal. Or anything that is applied to the skin, like the nicotine patches and stuff like that. Those have a relatively wide window. But yeah, anything injectable or anything that goes a nasal spray, because that goes so close to your brain and all that kind of stuff. Those have a pretty tight window.
I can't imagine ever using one.
I had to use one once, and that was terrible.
Yeah.
It's I feel like I'm drowning every time I take my medication. I don't like this.
Yeah, I think I had to once for I don't remember what, and it was really bad. It felt.
Yeah, I know. I had Flonase or Nasonex, something like that, for allergies when I was younger. Oh, something like that. Anyway, yeah, I remember every time I would use it, it would make me have to blow my nose like crazy. So I always wondered, did this stuff even work? I think I just blew it all out of my nose and didn't get it a chance to absorb into my mucous membranes at all. I don't know if anyone else has had similar experiences there, but that was mine. It was not fun. Itchy, watery eyes all over the place and snot everywhere.
The only horrible experience I had is when I had surgery and the pain medications and other stuff was 5 times bigger than any pill I was ever used to taking, and I had to just swallow 3 of those.
You're complaining about that? That's a happy pill right there.
I know. I'm not complaining about the pill. It's just when I was very, very little, and so I just went as a really bad experience
totally
for me.
Killed the joke I was going to make about you not being able to handle big things in your throat.
I'm
It's just not funny when you're a
I'm
kid.
glad you went there.
Holy shit, we even got Nobud to make a noise.
Otherwise-
Nobud, why are you being so quiet over there,
I'm
sipping out of your
going
My Little
over-
Pony cup? What's up, bud?
The finishing. Well, actually, I just sent
He's-
email.
What are you doing instead of talking on the
finishing
podcast?
Yeah.
I want to go reheat a lava cake.
Okay.
God, this guy's a fucking tool bag.
No.
So okay,
What are
We're
you
still
saying
going on
now?
about that guy.
okay, yeah. So Dutch Face, another RT member, and Lozelda are going back and forth with this guy.
Fuck you!
Back and forth.
Aw.
I stood up for you, and then I weighed in that he was an idiot, and I'm just letting it go after that.
And then Dutch Face is basically just telling him, look, it's $10. The whole point of paying for the sponsorship is you get the live stream, when it's live. That's the only difference. If not, you can watch it for free when it's posted up, right? So
Yeah, the only difference is the live stream and then little tiny forum editing towards.
And you get the videos a couple hours early. Okay, that's okay.
And special sponsor videos.
Oh, big deal. Anyway, but his reply, and this is the perfect I'm a douchebag. As much as I love the podcast and the patch and Rooster Teeth, I'm not feeling the vibe here. I'll wait a few days for it to come on YouTube. If I wanted to be talked down to, I'd ask my dad. I can put myself down quicker than you guys can. Unsubscribe.
What's the? What, that doesn't even
Did he
make-
just admit that his father?
Yes, too much. Yep. That shit got really.
Why
real
is he
deep
bragging
real
that
quick.
he can put down faster?
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what just happened. I'm a little sad for him because apparently there's something that's not quite working correctly in his
Yeah.
head.
Yeah. This is deeper than us, okay?
Yeah.
This isn't about us.
And-
This is a lot deeper than that. It's very.
I
It's
wonder
not
if that
the
means
cost.
a lot of the idiots online have been psychologically abused by their parents. Oh my god, it makes so much sense
That
now.
never happens on the internet. What's wrong with you?
No, not the no.
No.
No. Not the
Darn.
internet. No.
A lot of
Just
psychological.
close
A lot
that.
of psychological drama. That's number one, and number two is Rule 34.
You know, as much as Rule 34 gets a bad rep, some of it's pretty damn
It
entertaining.
is, isn't it? It really is.
It's like one of those train wrecks you can't look away from. You're like, they turned that into porn? Oh my god. I'm scarred for life, but I can't stop looking at it. What other disturbing things can I find on the internet?
They can turn anything into porn.
Yeah, it's almost an art form in and of itself.
I think
really.
Lozella and I had this
Like-
discussion on Twitter today, didn't we?
Which
Really? You were
No,
talking
no.
you were talking about Rule
No,
34?
not
the-
anything being porn. What was it we were talking about? On the forum thread.
let's be honest, we were talking about porn.
We were talking about
Yeah,
porn,
pretty much.
Wait, did I miss
Be- would
porn?
be worried,
God damn it.
you know.
Yeah.
Yes, you missed porn.
And I left and I
No,
missed
what
porn.
did we talk about? Are you talking about Twitter
Okay.
or are you talking on the thing?
No. See, we have several different conversations going on. Twitter was about the jokes, the juvenile language, and you didn't get my joke.
Oh,
Dicks.
right. Yeah, I did not pick up on that at all until you sent the video.
Okay. No, I think it was on the forum thread we were discussing. I don't know. It's fucking. I'm tired. I don't wanna think right now.
All right, I'm gonna go look this up. I'm gonna go figure this
Oh,
out.
Okay, go look
I'm-
it up.
Yeah, please, because I'm totally
All
lost right now. I'm like, you two are having this special moment between
Yeah,
you
we
two,
are.
and I'm feeling left out. And I'm like, you are having these conversations. I don't
Well,
know
that's why
about
you
them.
should
They
be on
sound
Twitter,
fun.
then. You missed out on some good shit.
Let's see what happened here.
That's the thing about Twitter. You just
Get on
you don't
Twitter.
if you don't take it serious, it's fun.
It is, yeah, exactly. Though I hate how if I like am not there for just one, not even one day, it skips me to the top of the thread on my phone. So I'm like, oh well, I just missed like 2 days worth of tweets.
Yeah, it moves very fast. It's very chaotic.
The butt just fell out of my lava cake. I tried to pick it up and the butt
Did it
fell
take
out.
any of Lozelda's medication?
I think it did. It's everywhere.
Told you. See?
There's brown stuff everywhere.
Her lava cake is suffering from anal leakage.
Rectal bleeding.
Oh no.
It's
Only-
really yummy anal leakage.
Okay.
Ew. No.
Well then,
Stop
I'd like to
it.
say I'd have a transition and I figured out what the fuck we were talking about, but I went back
Oh,
like
yeah.
a whole week and I'm like, I cannot find anything that we said that was remotely related to anything we were just talking about. So now I'm confused.
Okay, I don't know.
Ha.
Okay, well,
All the
let's-
days just
awkward
meshed together
transition.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a week like that for me. Ken actually got in a car wreck yesterday. It wasn't a bad wreck. He he rear-ended a Jeep when the Jeep in
Was
the
it the
vehicle
first
in
time?
front of him
I thought you were gonna say
slammed on their
you. I was
brakes.
gonna take it somewhere
That-
else.
And
He
he's got
rear-ended
it was a
someone.
Honda Civic, so they ride low to the ground, and the Jeep's bumpers are really high, so the whole hood of his car is like smashed in. No, it wasn't. I had to resist the.
No,
the
I
urge
Thank
to
you.
make
Thank
an
you
Asian
so
Gay
much.
joke
Move
was
on.
above Asian
Really,
joke.
that's where you go. We know Ken is half Asian, and you go there instead of making the Asian driver joke. Seriously, I'm so
Dot,
disappointed
dot.
in you right now.
Yeah, I think being gay is worse than Asian.
Korea, though.
Wow.
Okay.
You really need to rethink what you just said.
So that's like super insulting
Really?
Dark and Ken at the same time.
That shit's on the internet. It's not going away. What you just said and how you just said it. It's not.
No. We need to blank that out so that nobody knows what she
No,
said.
You say something like that, you literally have 3 seconds to start backpedaling before it's just permanent, and no, you can't.
You realize you just made me the intro to the podcast.
No,
Like
no,
5
this
states
one's
away.
mine, but I think I might put something like that in.
Yeah.
Ray will threaten to
Like-
withhold posts from you, so that doesn't make it to the intro. Fusion, I think you need to take
He's
take
like,
this
oh,
one
you're gonna
from.
hold out.
Oh.
Ooh.
I didn't even think about it.
Uh-huh.
Making threats to me. Well, you don't.
Oh, I don't know how to respond to that, Ray.
I don't know
my heart.
either.
My heart. It's just breaking in front of me right now.
I love you,
Oh
Doc.
my god, they're gonna have to meet now.
Do you?
so
Do you
much.
really?
I love you, Doc, so much.
She doesn't love your Asian.
Again, though, after that.
Apparently.
No, I love Tim.
Yet.
What?
What do you mean? We've already met.
They've met.
I've met him.
Ken doesn't know yet.
No, he's not even home right now. He doesn't even know I'm talking about his little car accident on the podcast. Shh, don't tell him.
Ken is
But
on a live stream.
I was nice after he got the whole thing sorted out with the insurance company yesterday. I'm like, look, you haven't had anything for dinner. I'll treat you. Let's go get some sushi. And so we went over to one of our favorite sushi restaurants and had a nice dinner there. And then I had to get up super early and take him to one of his coworkers' house this morning because I was not about to drive him all the way out to work. He's got a coworker that lives about 10 or so minutes from where we live. So I crawled out of bed and got behind the wheel, half asleep, drove through the morning traffic, dropped him off, and headed back home. And really, really thought about going back to bed, but I knew that it would just be enough to tease me before I had to be back up and actually getting myself
Because
ready
you don't
for
want
work.
him rear-ending you.
So that never happened. Long story short, if you see an Asian driver behind you, make sure you brake early.
Alrighty then.
Well, according to Ray, that person will murder everyone on the road. Right, Ray?
Wait,
Oh
how
my
did
god. Have you guys seen that episode of Drawn Together where they have Asian vision?
What?
What does that even mean?
There's an episode of the cartoon Drawn Together where they make this machine that allows non-Asian people see the way Asian people see the world. And so like
Oh my god.
it's like these little tweezer things that pull the corners of their eyes to give them the slanty
That's
eyes.
beautiful.
And then instantly everyone turns into anime characters. And then when they see a road, they hold up this little note, a picture, a drawing of a road, and suddenly the person just completely freaks out, like, oh my god, there's cars flying everywhere. They're flying through the air, they're wrecking. And she's like, oh my god, there's cars everywhere. I need to make a left turn. Quick, put the blinker on. Turn right in all 4 lanes. It's so awesome. But put that in the link dump. Someone needs to go find that clip on YouTube.
There you go, Chaos. Drawn Together. Chop, chop.
Alright.
Chop, chop. Actually, my favorite episode was the episode where the Pikachu
Ling-Ling.
guy and Pig
Pikachu.
were making athletic shoes, and they were using
Isn't that
the
another
church
name?
servants and
Yeah, that was Ling
Ling-Ling.
and
Apparently that's another
Spanky.
name
yeah,
for
yeah,
the
Spanky.
edible
Ling-Ling is the name of the
prepared
character,
meal
Pokemon
of
character.
panda
Ling-Ling.
penis.
Yeah.
I don't know. You tell me.
Another name for what?
Oh, why do I know that?
That wouldn't surprise
Why
me.
do you know that?
I don't know about all that.
Why
Nobody's
do you
been
know
struggling to make penis jokes all week. I think I know what's on his mind. Someone needs to get laid.
No, but you gotta do me a real big favor. Real big favor. Never, 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 ever, ever, ever try out for stand-up comedy.
No.
that? Oh.
Your timing is just a tad bit off. Tad.
Just
Just
a
a
little
tad.
bit. I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to hurt your feelings, but yeah,
Fuck it.
it's not your calling.
Now, music,
At
you
all.
have talent. I will admit that. Don't ever
Why would you admit
produce, record and produce a comedy album. God.
The comedy stylings of nobody.
Yeah. Unless
Actually,
you're trying to go
that
in the
would
vein of
be-
Neil Hamburger. Maybe it'll work then.
No.
That would be kind of funny in and of itself, like in a sad sort of way. You know? You just
Yeah, I
have
don't
to listen to it while watching other people listen to it just to see their reaction, and then it would be funny because you're watching their reaction.
I don't know what's going on.
Yes? No?
Yes, I agree.
Oh yeah.
But
I
here,
don't
I'm
understand.
sending you the
Everyone else
link,
going
nobody,
droning.
because this guy is like going crazy.
Hey, that's
right
my
now.
job.
It's kind of
No.
scary, actually.
Are we talking about
Are you guys still going on about
No, it's
that
just
guy?
it's just crazy because he went from just posting a comment to going full schizo on us.
Now
This
you're
is
making
like
me
if-
click on
If
this
this
link.
conversation
This is
was happening in real time, one of us would be pulling out that chloroform rag that we keep talking
No.
about. They keep talking about on the regular podcast, where everyone should just have one of those. This would be the guy that you would use it on.
Yes. What, you
What?
like to be
That
chloroformed?
usually involves rape. Are we raping the guy?
Wait,
or-
what?
You don't have just
I
because
thought chloroform meant you're gonna rape him.
No, chloroform just knocks you
No,
out.
that's-
Jesus
just
Christ,
because
Ray!
you,
I know it
just
knocks
because you
people
incapacitate
out.
someone does
When
not mean
you
you
want
rape
to
them.
knock him out,
Jesus.
you can rape him.
Ray,
I'm
you're
like,
thinking of Rufalin.
Rip-
Roofies,
No.
roofies are used
I know.
to rape
I know
people.
what. I know. I watched. What is it? Oh fuck! What is it? The Human Centipede. Yeah.
Oh God,
I remember that.
Oh,
You get
Lord.
roofied.
that's
Human
that's the
centipede.
source of
Oh,
information in this
Yes,
conversation.
exactly. She's like, and then they sew your asshole to your mouth hole, and
Yeah.
it gets really fucked
And then the
up.
one bitch in the back dies, and the guy in the front's Asian, and he slits his throat, and then it's the one girl in the middle is left, and it was awful. That's all I remember.
Oh gosh.
Fucking. All right.
That's
We went
probably
to-
the most comprehensive review that I've ever heard of that movie.
I just. Where do you
Well,
go
the girl
from
in
that?
the
There's,
back
there's,
got all,
there is
like,
a new there's a new
infected,
segment, Ray at the movies.
Oh,
Ray at the
Jesus.
movies.
Pus came out of
Yes!
her mouth sewing, and she died, and then the guy in front committed suicide, and then
Yes, the human millipede.
I don't know. What happened to the girl after that? Do you know? There was a second movie. I didn't like it much.
They made a sequel to The Human Centipede?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's called the
Gross.
full sequence. It's called
The
Oh
Human
gosh.
the full sequence. That's what it's called.
My little sister was
Full
watching
sequence?
it, and I came down going, "What the fuck
Yeah,
is this?"
it's the Human Centipede 2, the full sequence. I'm not joking.
Because 4 people weren't enough?
I don't know. I didn't watch
They
it.
had
I
like a
just
whole
saw it.
chain of it.
I just saw
I've only
the.
seen clips.
All I know is that South
I
Park
like-
did a really good episode based on the Human Centipede.
I was just about to say that. I really enjoyed the South Park episode, the Human Centipede.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I could definitely see Apple doing some shit like that.
If you go to YouTube, there's a clip of the guys doing the voice work in the studio, and that is the most fun I've ever seen voiceover people ever do. These two they're trying to do the scene where the Chinese guy. Okay, in the South Park episode, if you purchase the iPad, if you read through the iTunes update, it tells you that they have the right to basically create a human centipede with your body. So it's some Chinese guy, and then in the middle it's Kyle, and then is it a girl in the end? Is it a girl at the end of the?
I think there was a girl in there, yeah.
Okay. Well, the guy, the Asian guy in the front, he's given a choice to eat either cuttlefish or asparagus, right?
Oh no.
And he
Yeah.
eats the cuttlefish, and it gives him the runs, and he shits in Kyle's mouth. But the whole scene it's grossed out. But if you watch the behind the scenes of them doing that whole sequence in the studio, they are just laughing their fucking asses off while they do it. He's like, "Oh, here come the
Yeah.
cuttlefish, Kyle!" And the guy in the booth tells him, "You have to do the shitting sound." He goes, "Oh, okay." And Trey's just laughing his ass off while he's doing it. He covers his mouth. He's like, "No, don't do it, don't do it. Oh, here it comes. It's a lot." You have to watch it.
I'm going to throw up just listening to that.
No, I'm serious. You will
Pussy.
die.
Jesus.
You will literally die laughing, and your butthole will fall out.
In that order.
Problem for everyone tonight.
I know. What is?
The Forum Thread Podcast, the Anal Leakage edition.
There we
I don't
go.
know
Oh,
if we
it's
can.
gonna-
I don't
it's
know if
gonna
we can
have a
use that as a
warning label on
tagline, though.
No, but may cause
Why
cause
not?
rectal bleeding.
Well,
You can use that.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, fuck you, David. He just died in hardcore.
Oh,
well, it was like a
that just
super
reminded
zombie
me,
that
I
wouldn't
need to
move.
check my
He didn't
email.
have any knockback at all.
Well, I don't have any friends or any wood. You fuck.
You need
I'm sure
wood.
someone here's got some wood for
Sounds
you.
like a personal
Chaos. Get
Yeah,
on
I
that.
expected those jokes, but seriously, I need wood. I'll just ignore
So, hey,
it.
when
now.
did it
Fuck
come
you
out?
Too.
Exactly.
No one cares. She don't care.
Did anyone
What
buy
are you gonna do
Titanfall?
about it?
Anyone?
Nope.
No, it didn't really
What the fuck do you think?
hold
the
my
paper is?
interest.
You know, that one time.
I'm
I don't know.
I don't even know what day of the week it is right
That
now
one time
anymore.
we did that one thing.
Came out yesterday.
I think today's Wednesday because it's the podcast, so I do know
Okay.
that
Oh
much.
yeah, that is a good point.
Wow.
I think it came out Monday night.
Correct.
Wood! I found wood. Ooh,
You know what?
tapping.
You know what I did a couple weeks ago? I did something I didn't think I was going to do, and I bought myself another year of Xbox Live
Oh,
Gold.
really?
And you know how I've taken advantage of that this last week?
Oh God, please tell us.
Tell us
I've
all about
played-
tell us all about how you take advantage.
I've played about 40 hours of Age of Empires on the PC instead of playing Xbox Live.
Dar.
I'm like, why did I even purchase that?
I know, we can continue our long, broken, Portal play.
Yes, we can finally do that now. I
Well,
bought
you're
it
a
with the
bitch. Sorry.
I'm
No,
not a
someone in
bitch.
Diamond Armor came and killed me.
Bad enough you insult my sexuality, and now you're calling me a bitch? You are a terrible person, Ray.
No, it's cool. I love the game. I knew that would sound so much better.
The reason why I renewed my Xbox Live subscription is I really need to play BioShock Infinite. My sister saw that I had it when I finally got it through the mail, and so I let her borrow it. She beat it. She gave it back to me. I'm like, okay, I've got it back. Now I've got a good excuse to actually play it. And the urge didn't hit me. Instead, I'm like, I want to play Age of Empires again. So that's what I did.
I played South Park Stick of Truth.
How was that?
I haven't purchased that yet.
It's fun. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I watched the Let's Play of the first first three missions in it, and it looked like quite possibly the best game of the year, just because it's like it's like its own South Park series meshed into a video game.
It's just one giant episode. It really is.
Yeah, so I know I have to have that. I'm not sure if I want to pay full price for it right off the bat, but I'll probably talk myself into it and probably will play that right off the bat just because it's funny. I genuinely had a really good time watching this guy. I usually don't like to watch Let's Plays because the person annoys me, but you could tell this guy was a fan of the show, and so he was getting all the jokes, and he was inherently kind of annoying in and of himself, but because he was having such a good time playing this game, I was having a good time watching him play this game.
What,
so
were you watching PewDiePie?
Huh?
Who were you watching then?
No, Dark doesn't know all these people, Ray.
Well, according
What
to
is
you,
wrong with
Well,
you?
I mean,
what's wrong
We'll
with
fix
you?
you. It's okay.
Well, let me see. Where do you want me to start? I've got lots of stuff wrong with me. Should we start at my childhood? I can't help it, Ray. Let it go. Just let it go.
Well, you know what? If something's wrong with you and you have some deep-rooted issues, you should probably have a chat with this Fabez 10 person, because
Wait, who's
you
going?
two have a lot to talk about.
I can help him sort through his abusive daddy
Oh.
That
issues.
could
Sure.
actually be really
I'm
funny
sure
to
that's
watch.
I'm sure that's his only issue.
I would love to watch that conversation unfold.
yeah, you're sitting. It's an actual video thing. You're sitting there in a red chair, and he's laying on the bench. And you just have a clip where you're interviewing him.
Oh, that's something. That's something. If I were fully in the drunk one Dre mode, I would actually have incentive to do that, and it would be funny
Yeah,
as
it
shit.
would.
Would it? Was it
So I
really?
need to send you tons of vodka.
Mm-hmm.
You can have what I'm drinking because I don't like it. I
Well.
too much vodka and it's gross.
Just chug it.
Just, yeah, plug your nose
There's
and
too much
swallow.
to chug.
You gotta handle the
Yo.
load, yo.
Mhm.
Well,
Whoa.
David.
I don't know.
It's good for you.
Huh.
You gotta do what you gotta do, yo.
Mm-hmm.
So what, just shut up and swallow?
Yep.
Huh. Well, that much is true.
It sounds
So
like
we
someone's
were
told her this
talking-
before with the way she's giggling.
Yeah, exactly. See, she's having a blast. She doesn't want to admit it out loud. Before all this,
Oh, that was terrible.
before we went live, before my terrible pun, that was actually awesome. we were talking about donuts, particularly
Oh my god,
Gordos.
donuts.
Were we?
Yeah, we were.
Was that what started the junk food
Yeah.
conversation?
Yeah, we
Because
were
I came in
talking
with
about Gordos, which is a lovely little place in Austin that makes awesomely fucking fabulous food, man. Just
Oh, and that's why Lozelda was planning on gaining 20 pounds this
Yes.
the first day.
Got it.
No,
The first,
That
yeah,
all
the
makes
first day,
sense
not
now.
even like
That's-
before RTX even starts. I will just be blimped up because of donuts.
She wants her goal is clinical obesity by the time it wraps up on Sunday night.
pretty
That's
much,
her goal.
That seems like a
and
good
then I can
goal.
take
She can have one of
medications
those
that will
full-
cause anal leakage, and then it'll all be fine.
Yeah, and
But
sustained
gaining
erections.
weight equals
Awesome.
bigger
Shit.
boobs.
I will have
Yeah.
sustained erections and anal leakage.
Uh,
But gaining
wow,
weight
you must have a really
Um,
big clitoris.
I-
I'm impressed.
Whoa, ho, too far.
We're getting dangerously close to the perfume conversation
Yeah,
again.
we're not having cleanest discussions, guys. We're not doing that.
I want to buy that perfume and bring it to
No,
RTX.
no,
Will
no,
Hey.
no.
Do you think it's
you
expensive?
smell
What
it
was
if
this
I
that-
buy it?
I read
Not
someone
very.
made a comment about our podcast being PG. Was that you, Mr. Fusion?
Yes, it was a joke. This one was not PG. And who was it?
But-
Who, was it Webwave that said when
No.
are the podcasts ever PG? I said, well, this PG
Yes,
stands
that's
for
what it
All that rhymed.
pretty gay.
Yeah.
Ah.
And this
Pretty
And this
gay.
particular podcast is not pretty gay.
I don't know. I'm having an off day.
Well,
Yeah,
Dark
thanks,
Seal.
Since
Ray.
we were talking a lot about the vajayjay.
It's
So-
okay.
Mhm.
I'm just going my
The
own way.
JJ needs attention too.
It does.
What?
I don't know what conversation we're having anymore.
It's
We're just all
an
over.
amalgamation
About
of
vagina.
all madness.
Madness.
Plain.
Carry on.
Yeah.
Plain.
Just like your wayward
So
son.
I'm curious, Nobody, are
matter.
you going to hitchhike? You going to take a bus? What's your plan getting to RTX? The road to your
He's
RTX.
gonna suck he's gonna suck truckers off for a ride.
What? It's the unspoken rule of the road, man.
Yeah. What was I watching? That was actually the rule of the road.
Jay and Silent Bob
yeah,
Strike Back.
yeah. Where were you watching?
Oh,
Thank
wow.
you. Okay. That bothered me. I was like, wait, where do you suck dicks as the rule
That's
of
a
the road?
very underrated movie, by the way.
Never heard of it.
It's the last.
It sounds
Wow.
It was
interesting.
supposed to have been the last in that
Kill yourself.
Kevin Smith View-esque universe with Jay and Silent Bob, but they fucked up and had did Clerks 2 a couple years after that. But Jay and Silent Bob is a really good movie. I like it. Wasn't a fan of Clerks
I like
2.
Clerks and Clerks too.
Really, I didn't like Clerks 2. My favorite.
I
was
ain't
Chasing
never watched it. I didn't really like Clerks
Me
1.
neither.
I tried to watch it. I'm like, this is
37
like
dicks.
it's like a cult classic, so it's got to be good. And I
Not
watched
so
it,
much.
and like halfway through the movie, I'm like, is this damn thing over with? This is really,
You really have
really
to,
annoying.
The thing about the movie is you have to take it for what it is, and it's a low budget. I mean, he was supposed to have paid his taxes and instead he filmed the movie. He rented a camera and filmed that.
I don't like
And
Jersey.
every single actor is just friends of his that live in Jersey. So they're not like professionally trained actors. And
Yeah, low budget, not professionally trained actors. That's fine, but
Wait.
I thought the movie was pretty shit.
Really?
How did you not like it? The girl went to a bathroom, thought it was her boyfriend, and rode a dead guy.
Okay,
How do you
I'm
not
not-
like
I-
that
I
movie?
will admit-
most of that movie. I'm trying to
I
figure out
will
how
admit
you
that-
make that, how you confuse
That
that.
was, yeah, that was the high point of the movie.
That was the
actually.
high point?
That was,
She's
Yeah,
not
imagine
good.
if
was
they
at the
describe
very
it as
end,
the
and-
high point. Imagine, you can just imagine this movie.
Jesus fucking
Well,
Christ.
Donkey Show was the high point of Clerks too.
I don't even have words for
Yes,
this. This is
yes.
the second
actually,
time
it wasn't.
today
It was
I even
Rosario
read it.
Dawson dancing.
I know.
That was the high point of Clerks 2.
Dunson.
And I have a nice little GIF of that. Let me pull that up, or a GIF, whatever you know.
Yeah,
see boobs jiggle.
GIF
Hey, guys,
sounds so much better.
I have a riddle for you all. I found it, and it's gonna give us great insight into
Oh,
all
really?
of your
No.
guys'
So
psyche.
do we have to like
Unless you've heard
be reasonable and answer one
unless
at
you've
a
heard
time or
this
something?
before.
Are you expecting us to answer one at a time?
Yes,
Okay.
you must all
Okay,
answer.
bring it.
I don't care what order.
My
Okay,
body is ready.
so here's the scenario.
YOLO?
Shut up, Nobod.
That's the riddle.
A woman meets a man at her mother's funeral, and she instantly falls in love with him. They have a nice little conversation, and then, the funeral's over, they go their separate ways. 2 weeks later, this same woman murders her sister. Why did she kill her
Because
sister?
they were playing Halo.
Because she wanted to see the guy again.
Lozelda is
Oh,
the psychopath here.
No, it's because
It's just the logical
the
answer. Or
the
she's
guy is the person that does the ceremonies for the stuff.
Or the
Yeah.
guy's her sister's boyfriend.
I
or
like how
something.
wait. I'm pointing out the logical reason she would be like, oh, are we just gonna say no? She's batshit crazy and killed her sister for no good reason? Like, at least get a date out of it. Come on.
I thought it
Well,
was gonna be the
some
sister's
people would
boyfriend.
naturally jump to maybe they were having an affair, something like that. But someone with psychopathic tendencies would think, oh, well, she just wanted to have a second date with him, so she killed her sister so that he would show up at her funeral.
All right, well, I'm just gonna go now.
I wasn't even paying attention. I was watching porn.
Is your
Sorry.
anus?
That sounds like a better use of time.
Sorry.
I'll see you guys at RTX, right? When we're all like in a closed room together and
Just hang
no
up
one.
on Lozelda
Oh, yeah,
here.
that's good.
Hang up on
Will there be
her.
vodka?
I'll just
Yeah, just end the call and we'll be okay. You've been great, Lozelda. Thanks for joining us. Please don't
No,
kill
those
me.
guys in black suits are really gonna show up at my house.
Yeah, they're gonna say we
why
have a case
is
study.
why is this?
I guess
gift?
that would be the real question. Are the guys in black suits gonna show up first, or the guys in white jackets?
I hope it's the guys in the white jackets, because then they put you in one of those super cool suits where you hug yourself all day.
I actually had put on a straight jacket once for like we were having a discussion about like the psychological things that go along with putting on a straight jacket. I freaked out so bad. I like went into full on panic attack. Something about not being able to move my limbs when I want to. Like if my feet get tangled in the sheets when I'm trying to go to sleep, I will go into a full blown panic attack. So this was like the extreme version of that. And like I hyperventilated. I just started like hysterically crying while I can't breathe.
Oh,
and
wow.
then I like just started like throwing up. And they're like, okay, we're gonna get you out of this now. That's
Do you have
I
a
guess
video?
you're not into S and
no,
M.
no, you're
No
not.
handcuffs in the bedroom. I'm guessing.
What was that?
Ray
No
was saying
handcuffs
you're
in the
not
bedroom?
into S&M.
But I think she
Ray.
specifically said handcuffs. That's not a big deal because it's like I can still move my arms around.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a whole new
So I
know how to tie you
psychological thing
up
when
now.
you like if without someone else to help you, it's really really hard to do anything else but sit there.
Have you been in a straight jacket before?
No, but I can. You can just tell. You can just tell.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Lozelda's first-hand experience over that. But yeah, I would have to say I would like to have the experience once just to see if I would flip out.
Yeah,
You
it's-
don't,
But
it's some-
trust me,
Some
you
people,
don't ever want to be in a straitjacket.
Yeah, some people can handle it fine, which is almost like more concerning to me that doesn't freak you out when you've got that strapped on you. But it's like I definitely had the worst reaction of anyone in the group that was going through this test. I was probably like halfway through the group. They were making all of us do it. And after I went, they're like, "We're just gonna be done with this now." Like the rest of you, I'm sure you've seen the wide range of reactions. We're just gonna put this away and move on to the next thing.
the question is, did you pee?
I did not pee myself in the straitjacket. No.
Oh,
So
good.
that was.
She
I
didn't
did
tinkle on
maintain
herself.
some form of dignity.
Some.
Some. When you're crying
Noted.
hysterically and you can't breathe and you're choking on your own vomit while you're in a straitjacket, there's not a lot of dignity left.
What compounds to the
This is
madness
true.
is when you have that little panic attack, your first initial instinct is to basically, if your hands were free, would be to cover your face, rub your face, scratch your face, do something with your hands,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you can't do that, and that compounds to the problem. It actually, that's where you start going mad. And yes, I've been in a straitjacket. I didn't freak out like Lozelda did because I'm a sane human being. But
Fuck you, dude.
No.
Well, we
We
proved
just
you're the
went over the fact that
psychopath
I'm a
among us.
psychopath. Do you really want to be insulting me right now?
No, I don't.
Ooh, good point.
Well,
Take it back,
at the
Mr.
same
Fusion.
time, I think Fusion's probably the most capable of beating someone up in this entire podcast.
I'd like to also point out I have access to an entire chemical store cabinet. You don't have to get close enough to me to beat me up.
What are you, fucking
This is
Batman
true.
with utility belt? You're gonna break out some.
No,
I
she
disappeared.
doesn't need a utility belt. She's got that powdered
Smoke.
I got that
Cancer
powder cancer.
medicine.
Okay,
shit,
so
and I have
so
a,
basically
and I have
we're gonna
a
get into a
4-gallon
fight.
I have a
If she's in a
4-gallon jug of chloroform, alright? You do
Okay,
not
okay.
fuck with me.
I was gonna say, are you just gonna throw powder at me like you're Mr. Fuji in the old
Free.
wrestling? And I have like a sustained erection and anal bleeding? Is that what's gonna happen? Okay,
That's
win that
what's
round.
going to happen.
And all your hair will fall out.
Exactly.
And if I throw the right one at you, you will also grow ovaries. So really, everyone wins.
Hey, I'll never have to leave the
Hey,
house.
at least you can get a successful job working at a circus after that.
The he, she, man, woman.
He, she, it, man.
I'm
Yeah.
like, shit, man.
That should be a movie. The he, she, it, man.
Seriously though, I've been in a straitjacket as well, and I managed to keep some level of sanity when I was in the straitjacket. I'm not trying to pick on little Zelda, but I can see why, because it's just instinct to move your hands to protect yourself, and you can't do that, and
Yeah.
that makes you that is what really breaks you down, because you just can't do it. You're like, fuck, man. And then of course it always happens. When that happens, you start getting anxiety and you start getting itches. Like, oh, I got an itch behind my ear. This isn't going to go well.
That was going to be my
Yeah.
next question. What happens when you get an itch and you can't move your hands to scratch it? Do you have to find the nearest wall to smash your face against?
Or if you couldn't even move, and it's so much worse. I think it would affect like half the people at least when either you're just going to test it out for this one time, but there's someone right there to take it off, or you're actually being like contained or arrested or something like that, where you might not be able to get it off anytime soon.
How would you go to the bathroom wearing a
You
straitjacket?
just go.
Isn't it only a
Yeah,
jacket, not for the top?
Peeing in your pants is the least of your problems.
Yeah, the level of dignity that you've had at that point is pretty much at zero. So just fucking whatever.
I mean,
Do what you gotta do.
I've never tried to remove my pants without using my arms before, so I don't imagine that.
A, I want to
be
see
able-
someone try to do that. B,
This should be a video challenge that
Oh,
we do.
Jesus.
Like, remove
The
your
straitjacket
pants
challenge?
without using
the
your
straight jacket
hands.
challenge. I
Yes.
like it.
I like that.
I would also like to point out that if you're being forcefully put in a straitjacket, you're probably already on medications that cause the anal bleeding and leakage, so peeing your pants, again, is probably going to go unnoticed.
Don't forget the sustained erection. Do not.
Yes, so with your
Is that really a negative?
well, if you
If you're in a
you
straitjacket,
can't do anything about it in a straitjacket, that's gotta be super
Your-
irritating.
your
You're up
hands
against the
Your
wall.
hands are tied. You can't do anything about it. You're like,
Pop everything in sight.
your hands are tied, your ass is bleeding, and you've got a hard
You're
on,
just a
and all you
mess.
can do is just rub up against stuff
just a
while you
mess.
cry hysterically.
yes.
It does not sound like a good time.
No.
I know someone who's probably into the whole 50 Shades of Grey is like, no, that sounds like a good time. No, that does not sound like a good time. You just need to shut up.
Somehow we managed to squeak in 50 Shades of Grey into this conversation.
That was my fault. My
Yeah.
bad.
That-
What
that
have you
was
done,
your
Darth?
bad.
You've
Bad.
doomed us all.
Bad year.
If there was anything the power of the internet did wrong in the past 10 years, it's 50 Shades of Grey. That was.
Yeah, there's a lot wrong.
It's not necessarily the
with-
story from the snippets I've read. It's just how horribly written it is. It's
Oh,
awful.
really?
It's badly written, and it's highly inaccurate for couples that do enjoy BDSM. There's a lot of trust in there, and pretty much what the book describes is pretty much rape in a way, because she's not consensual. She's not consenting to it verbally at all. So the guy's taking liberties there. But it's one of those. It just goes into an area that it should not go into. If you talk to any couple that actually does enjoy that, they'll tell you there's a huge amount of trust and there's a huge amount of communication, and what's portrayed in that book is completely the opposite of how a relationship like that should be. That's what's talked about in the book is more abuse than a relationship.
Now, the origin of that story, wasn't it just fanfic that she had originally posted on a
Twilight fanfiction.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
wow.
really?
That doesn't
Yeah, really.
surprise
Yeah.
me.
And from what I
That does not
what I
surprise me
understand,
at
it
all.
was horribly written, like grammatically just god awful. content.
I wish Nobod was still here because he could tell us all about some of the horrible My Little Pony fan fiction that's erupted. So I could definitely see that being a Twilight.
Okay,
fan
my
fiction.
wife told me about this story about this this boy that who attempted to commit suicide because he was bullied for being a My Little Pony fan in junior high. And like I think I mentioned it briefly. When I grew up, I was kind of the jock kid in my school. But one thing I never did was I never bullied people. I was never one of those guys that go around picking on people. I think that's very
Hey,
pathetic.
I can pick on Nobod for liking My
No,
Little
no, no.
Pony
What you're doing is
I've
taking.
watched every episode of My Little Pony.
You're breaking balls. That's completely different than bullying. I think with My Little Pony, I have no problem with that being a fad. My problem with it is 45-year-old men, bald-headed, morbidly obese men that have these ponies all over their walls. That just reeks of pedophile to me. That's what comes to mind when I see that. That's just very odd. It's very emasculating, and I'm like, that's very odd to me. I don't get it. I don't get that. Of course, yes, this is coming from a 35-year-old man that still likes to read comic books and play video games, but that's different because it's like
it seems
if
like
it's a 50-year-old guy that's a Rainbow
overobsession
Bright fan,
sort of thing. And there's definitely something like one of the ones in some of the threads that I've seen. There's you like the show, you watch it every now and then because it has humorous jokes and funny references, and then there's decorating your room with the stuff, wearing all the shirts, learning everything you can about all the characters.
Being a fan is fine, but when someone sends me a link to, like I said, a 300-pound, 50-year-old guy that's basically getting off by brushing a My Little Pony its mane, there's something there. I don't know what it is, but it's not good. It's not good.
Yeah, there's you're always gonna get the people that are a little bit off like that, no matter what sort of fan community
And most
you're in.
those guys that I'm describing more than likely are the reason why we have the Rule 34. They are, because if it's anything that's
because nothing is exempt from that rule. I mean, any popular anything. Hell, if you don't even have to throw a stone to find any sort of combination of Disney porn.
Oh gosh.
I mean, it's absolutely everywhere.
Disney does they work hard at throwing little things into their product as well, don't they?
Little jokes that
little jokes, little animations, and
on their quality stuff, at least. On the good stuff, they put those. Sometimes they'll put nods in there, which I think is admirable, I suppose. But yeah, with the whole My Little Pony phenomenon, I actually. It's a double-edged sword, I think. On the one side, you do have the genuinely creepy guys, like the ones you're talking about, the 50-year-old guy who doesn't get laid at all, and he's getting off brushing some little toy's hair. But at the same time, I really admire what it's doing as far as challenging the stereotypical image of masculinity, and it's really making it okay for guys of all ages to not have to conform to the stereotypical
to like stuff
gender norms
outside of
that
what is considered normal, but at the same time still be considered manly. At least to a certain point.
Yeah, exactly. Whenever, because the rules for what's masculine and what's feminine are completely socially developed, and there's absolutely no actual sexuality, genuine natural sexuality attached to it. It's all created in our social construct, and it's constantly changing and constantly evolving. And when right around our grandparents' generation, it really kind of hit the high mark, and everything was kind of ingrained into society as standard. When we had the television shows and things like that, saying this is the ideal family, this is the ideal man, this is the ideal woman, ideal father, ideal wife, and it just kind of stayed that way for a couple generations. And now we're like, look, none of us are happy with that stereotypical gender norm where you're forced to conform with one cookie cutter image or another cookie cutter image. It's okay to like things that are not stereotypical, and I think this is a really in some instances, it's a really forward-moving progression in our society in general. I think it says a lot about where we're going. Hopefully, it says
But
a
you
lot
have to
about where
admit
we're
that
going. Really.
that this progression has been actually pretty swift.
Well, yeah, ever since the internet happened 20 years ago, and the internet just turned 20 this year.
Yeah, 25,
Um,
right?
That is it 25? I
I
thought
thought
it was
I read
20.
25 earlier.
Yeah.
No, you're right. It is
Damn
25.
right we're
I'm
right.
5 years old.
Yeah, words are hard.
You know what? Shut the hell up. I was admitting I was wrong.
I'm sorry,
Here.
I'm really sorry.
At least... Huh.
He was on a roll, and you just totally just killed his momentum. Just totally.
Derailed
That's what I
me.
do. I'm sorry.
Now I feel useless.
You know, you're right, and I think if someone really wants to see kind of a reflection of that in media, it's a very underrated movie, Pleasantville. Do you guys remember that movie?
No, I never
With
saw
Reese Witherspoon and Tobey Maguire, William H. Macy. It's basically
Reese Witherspoon and Tobey Maguire. That's why I didn't
Okay.
see it.
No, I mean they're actually. It's not. I mean, it's not a bad movie, but the whole premise is Tobey Maguire. He's in the present, and he watches this black and white kind of Leave It to Beaver, kind of like we were talking about the Ozzie and Harriet, where they slept in separate beds. The social construct. The wife's at home. The man comes home, smokes his pipe, reads his paper, and all that crap. Well, I mean, the show is basically that premise. That's the show he watches. It's called Pleasantville. Well, he's given the opportunity because his home life is very dysfunctional. He's offered the opportunity to go and live in Pleasantville. This man shows up, gives him a remote, and all of a sudden he's in Pleasantville, he and his sister, and they basically just crack the walls, like the foundation of this whole construct, and it changes everything. You just basically the show goes from a 50s, 60s black and white to a modern color show where everyone's doing whatever they want. Couples are having sex, things like that. It's very interesting. Like if you take it for face value, the movie's real stupid. But if you kind of read beneath that, it's got a real good point, and it's kind of a reflection of that, a microcosm of what you were saying.
Yeah, that actually sounds like a really interesting premise. I never would have given it a second thought, but now I'm wondering if it's on Netflix.
I don't know if it's on Netflix. I think it came out in 90. I'm going to say 98 or 99. But when I watched it, I was late teens, and I thought it was stupid. I went back and watched it a couple years ago, and I'm like, it's not as bad as I thought it was. I mean, now that I can kind of just see where they're going, where the director his intent was for the movie, it's got a real good point to it.
Yeah, I always feel bad for movies like that you can tell that the director had a definite sense of what they wanted to do with the material, but it just didn't fire right. And you just kind of get an okay movie where you're like, yeah, I can see where he was going with this, but damn, it just didn't.
That usually happens with those big studios because of the pressure from the executives. They have to have it a certain way so they can sell it and they can market it.
Yeah.
Like they have a checklist of things that they have to do in order to get it to sell. That's
and
such a
Lozelda, please stop
disappointment.
fighting with this guy. That's
I'm
why she's so quiet,
sorry,
folks. She's fighting.
Are you still going on with
She
this
is
guy?
So dumb it hurts.
Prepare to
I was
have this guy
wondering
as the
why you
next
were being so
podcast
quiet.
guest.
Oh my
I'm gonna
god, I
bring
would
him
fucking
on.
murder you.
Yes, invite this motherfucker on, and let's actually.
I would murder
have this.
all of you. And we've already determined I'm the psychopath, so...
It would be really entertaining, and we're far enough away where I'm not immediately in any mortal danger, so I'm okay with it.
Wait, who
I'm
lives
just happy
closest?
She has her own housing plans for RTX.
Besides, if you kill me now, we won't be able to have sushi together and get drunk together at RTX.
I need to have people to have sushi with. Okay, you're
And then
fine.
she's
You're
gonna
fine
grab
until
one of the
that.
butcher knives and be like, "Oh."
No, knives are. I have this thing with sharp objects. I don't do knives. If I'm gonna murder somebody, I'm not pulling out a knife.
Oh, that's a good question. Then, how would you do that? How would
Like
you
we
murder
said,
someone?
I
With a
have
gun?
access to all kinds of ridiculous
Screwdriver?
fucking chemicals.
Oh,
I go.
poison.
It's like, and the best part is I'm the chemist. I know all the stuff that's not going to show up in all the tests.
Easy there, Heisenberg. Easy there.
I'm just saying.
Oh my
I have
God.
a knowledge base and I am not afraid to use it.
I am like, if I wasn't gay, I would be so turned on right now. That's amazing.
Come
would
on,
have
admit,
a
even though you are gay,
direction.
you are still a little turned on.
Maybe it isn't.
I think we're
I would never admit that out loud, though.
we're
I'm
making
sorry, I
some
didn't mean to say that.
progress here.
Shh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a good note to end on, because we're at an hour and 20 minutes
Oh, goody.
before this conversation gets any more
God,
weird.
This
Is that
podcast
even
is not gonna
possible,
make me
Dark?
look good.
It's not. It really isn't. If you want, I could.
This is what happens
I
when...
can be kind enough to kind of delete the section where you talk about your job. But
I'm not too worried about it. I didn't say,
Well,
I didn't
no,
say
no,
anything
Fusion,
identifying about...
Fusion, remember this one is mine.
Yeah, I didn't
Oh,
identify
seriously.
what I was testing, where I work, anything like that, so I'm not too worried
Yeah,
about
not like the
Yeah.
last one was with the that one company.
it. Oh, yeah.
yeah, I told the Chaos
That
I was
one
doing the editing, and
company.
I was like, I could take out where he works, but I'm not gonna do that.
It'd be even more hilarious if we got contacted by that company for sponsorship.
That company.
Trust me, of all the options they have,
Wait, so-
that company is not gonna want to sponsor our podcast.
Yeah, probably not.
Wait, so did you wind up censoring that company out of
No,
the
I
podcast,
would like
or did you
no.
just...
I was telling Chaos this yesterday. You know, I could remove it, but I'm not. I'm gonna leave it in.
No, he left Verizon in the podcast.
Okay.
Come on, Ray.
I-
It was funny when we were being, mysterious about the company.
She just had to go and break the flow.
God.
No, that Ray.
just
That
to
way we
spite
would have
me,
hold.
wasn't
If
it?
if for some reason just big stuff just came out of nowhere, then we would only have to censor one podcast because we would only be referencing the last one.
Big stuff
Yep.
coming out of nowhere? The hell are you talking about?
Somehow
many
the
drinks have
company
you had?
the company listening in on the podcast, which would be hilarious if that even happened.
That's like a conversation I would expect to hear from like someone who's like completely wasted or high. You know, that thing with the something, and it was big and scary and
Spooky.
yeah.
Okay then.
All right.
Alright.
So that like a couple of minutes ago, we said, all right, well, we should wrap up. Probably should have just done that.
Nah.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
We've devolved into something even more horrible. For all of you guys listening on Twitch, we apologize for
No,
this
we don't.
subpar.
No,
Yeah, I
we
like
don't.
it.
Not at
Not
all.
Night Sauls. The last comment on the stream was, "What the fuck did
No.
I just walk into?"
Zelda, it's a disingenuous
Oh,
apology.
okay. I was just say like own it, man. It's like we did this. We gotta like just take it by the horns and say we did this thing and it's awesome and you can go fuck yourself if you don't like it.
It is awesome, but you can still have a disingenuous
See,
apology.
no, that requires like too much like pretending to give a shit, and I just
What
can't
are
do
we
that.
what are we
Coming back.
apologizing about? What?
I don't know.
I don't
Probably
even
something I
remember.
did.
Your face.
I'm sorry for whatever it was that I did that
what
was
did
offensive.
you do this time?
I'm-
Who'd
I-
you
It's
piss
Clearly
It
her
probably was
fault.
my fault.
She chased
It's
Tgjanlee away.
always
This is what happens
no,
when he's not
no.
here.
He said he wasn't
I
going to be
missed
there,
him.
and so we had a conversation about how sad it would be, and how you guys would have probably actually have a normal podcast, and it'd be like civil and shit if both of us were gone. So
Yeah.
I had to show up, and just
Like
to make sure
that
that didn't happen.
Well, by comparison, I think this was a pretty civil podcast compared to the last few. So anyway, since my disingenuous apology to you guys on Twitch failed, we still appreciate you being here anyway. We will see you again same time next
And
week.
Tgjanlee actually asked me to plug first of all, the forum thread Twitter account, and Webwave's starting a new Metal Gear series on the YouTube channel.
So basically, subscribe to the
Yes.
YouTube channel, the forum thread,
Oh, okay, that's what you're
Yes.
saying.
and the Twitter handle is at the forum thread. And if you catch it on a really frisky day, certain people that I won't name names like to tweet themselves back and forth from their personal account to the forum thread Twitter account because I don't know what they do at work, and it's not me. It's not.
Guys, I was
What?
just informed there was no Hitler this week. I had to fix that.
The podcast is over, Ray.
Yep,
You
game
missed
over.
it.
Too late.
No.
We've moved on from Hitler
Too
to
late.
anal leakage.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Embrace.
When
What's
anal
worse?
Hitler
leakage
is so
the
2 weeks
improvement,
ago.
then we have a big problem.
We're progressive. We are.
Yeah. It's like society, constantly getting better. Hitler to anal leakage.
Darwin would be very
perfect.
proud.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather Hitler because I'd be safe.
You'd be saved.
I'd be
You
safe.
don't have blonde hair. You don't have blue eyes.
Yeah,
The
but
only
I'm
thing
not
going
a
for you
Jew
is-
and I'm white. With no, weird disabilities. And I'm straight. I'm
There were
fine.
plenty of white people that he killed in
Yeah.
concentration camps.
No. But they were Jews mainly, or gypsies, or they were gay, or had disabilities, or something.
You really need to read up on Auschwitz. Really.
As far as I'm concerned, Hitler would be like, you can live.
In
He's
her
not.
mind, that's the
He's
way it
not
would
like
go.
Shay. He's not a pop culture icon. This
You know,
is him
Zelda,
we're
I
talking
take it
about.
back. I think Ray might be the bona fide
Yeah, I
psychopath
think I've
here.
passed off the mantle, which is good. So we should end right now while I'm ahead.
Yes, let's do that.
No, I
Quit
realize
while
it's really
she's
hard to
ahead.
be
Good night,
serial these
everybody.
days.
Thanks for listening.
Good night, everyone.
God help us all.
Please don't kill me.
Who are you talking to now, me or Ray?
Both of you.
No, you're too nice and you're gonna have
Jeez.
sushi with me. You're cool. You're fine.